Good morning, everyone. Today is August 25th, 2011, Thursday, and this is your daily forecast discussion from New York Metro Weather. We have a whole lot to talk about today, and the potential for hazardous weather exists basically from today through the end of the weekend. We'll start you off on the national picture. You can see the Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk and effect over the Ohio Valley, and here's a system of severe thunderstorms shifting towards Pennsylvania at the moment, and this is in association with a cold front which is shifting to the east towards our area. You can see they just issued a new severe thunderstorm watch towards central PA. So tomorrow this cold front is going to shift to the east and will begin to head towards our area. It'll bring with it 30 knots or so of effective shear in the atmosphere, more than enough to organize thunderstorms as they develop in this axis of instability. And you can see over 1,500 joules of surface-based cape. The mixed layer cape also near 1,500 joules just away from the shore. So you would think with the short wave and the cold front coming through, the thunderstorms would be a threat, and lo and behold, they are. Here's the Storm Prediction Center WRF model, and you can see thunderstorms spread through the area tomorrow, Thursday, today afternoon and evening. These storms will have the potential to produce damaging winds, some hail, and possibly an isolated tornado, although the tornado threat seems pretty low. So just be prepared, pay attention for watches, warnings, advisories, whatever it may be. We'll be here on Twitter, Facebook, as usual throughout the day to keep you updated on the storms as they approach our area. And if you look towards the bottom of your screen, you'll see Hurricane Irene churning just east of Florida and beginning to make its crawl up the coast, and this is going to become a huge weather story over the next few days. Irene is currently just north of the southern Bahamas, and you can see the maximum sustained wind 120 miles an hour. This is at the 11 p.m. advisory. Northwest movement at 12 miles an hour. And you can see the forecast track is pretty ominous for our area for the National Hurricane Center. The hurricane shifts northwest and then north, scraping the Outer Banks, scraping the New Jersey shore, and presumably on this forecast track making its pass over central Long Island. The hurricane currently undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle, and you can see the storm is starting to get a little bit better organized. They're having some trouble with a satellite blackout on this loop, but the storm is expected to strengthen over the next 24 hours, even though it is currently in an area where there is some decent amount of shear getting in the way of the system. This is expected to lessen today on Thursday, allowing the storm to strengthen a little bit more. Here are the forecast models, and these are the tropical forecast models, and you can see they had initialized the storm, turn it northwest, and then more north and northeast, with a good majority of these forecast models scraping the Outer Banks and then pretty much bringing the system onto central Long Island, which is pretty scary for our area. There are a few models also which bring the system, bending the system back to the north and west onto western Long Island near the New York City metro area as well. This is the GFS and the wind speeds. Tonight's 0Z GFS has actually shifted to the west. You can see the system makes its pass just east of Ocean City, Maryland, and then comes pretty much ashore near Ocean City and Atlantic City, New Jersey, followed by its crawl up towards New York City. And actually, if you were to zoom in on this image, you can see that the system actually is west of New York City. The center of the hurricane or tropical storm, whatever it may be at this time, on this model is actually near Elizabeth, New Jersey. So it's west of New York City, and I mean, the amount of storm surge, the winds would be near hurricane force, even back to even a little bit back to the west. It's important to note here with these tropical systems something that a lot of people, I guess, don't know. When tropical systems make a turn to the north and they begin to undergo some weakening because the water temperatures are slightly cooler, the best winds will actually be on the east side of the system. It's just a rule of thumb with low pressure systems and cyclones up in our area. The heaviest rain will become situated on the west to northwest side of the storm, and the best wind will be on the east to southeast side of the storm. So if you were to watch this loop, you'll see that the winds were actually pretty well rounded around the system, even on the north and the northeast side and bending back to the northwest. But as it begins to interact with land and get into the colder waters, the best winds will stay off to the east and southeast. So as the system moves north, the best winds will be situated over Long Island and up into southern New England. So, you know, I mean, and we're not trying to say here that the system's not going to bring any wind, because this is going to be, if the models are correct, it's going to be a big wind maker, a big rain maker, and it's going to be real trouble on the beaches with the storm surge and the surf. Also, the astronomical tides are very unfavorable. This could be a big flooding concern as well, with all the heavy rain that is expected. We take a look at the NAM. It only goes out to 84 hours, but you can see the path of the hurricane as it's coming up. It looks very similar to the GFS and also the Euro model from earlier today. It's pretty concerning. It's something that you don't see too often, and I think also it's important to note the copious amounts of rainfall. You look at the NAM down here, that's almost 14 and a half inches of rain in the Carolinas. These systems produce amounts of rainfall to the likes which a lot of people around here have never seen before. So is it time to panic? Is it time to freak out? No, I don't think so. But is it time to get prepared? Yes. There's still enough time for the forecast to change, but there's not enough time for you to not be ready if the forecast doesn't change. We encourage everyone to visit the New Jersey Office of Emergency Management, where you can check your storm surge maps and your coastal evacuation maps for your county. This is especially important if you live along the water. We take a look at what one of them would look like. This is in Ocean County. You can see your evacuation routes here from all the coastal locations, which will be especially vulnerable with the storm surge. These islands, Long Beach Island, Lavallette, this entire area up and down the New Jersey shore. If this hurricane does come up and the forecast remains consistent, these areas may eventually be evacuated. So you need to know your evacuation routes, and then you can also look at your storm surge maps for Ocean County, New Jersey. Just using it as an example, not picking Ocean County for any specific reason. But here's what it shows you: the pink areas where the storm surge would be most severe. So you want to head away from those areas if the storm does in fact occur as modeled. So to sum it up, don't forget the chance of severe thunderstorms on Thursday today. Potential for damaging winds, large hail, and an isolated tornado. But the big story is Irene over the weekend. There is still uncertainty, but the forecasts are converging, and it does not look too good for our area. So at this moment, we don't want to panic. We don't want to freak out. We want to be prepared. So we want to get everything organized in case this storm system does get up here, as a lot of the forecast models do show it making it to our area. We will be with you on Facebook. We'll be with you on Twitter. We'll be posting all the information, all the developments as we get them, to send them to you guys so you have the information as soon as possible. So we will talk to you guys today, Friday. We'll be with you through the whole process, and we'll keep you guys as up to date as we possibly can. We'll talk to you guys soon.